Oh, hi, everybody. I hope y'all are doing all right. I had to delete that generational curses video and re download it again into YouTube because it wouldn't go through. It was over 24 hours and still hadn't pushed through. So I tried it again. I've tried it again. Well, we'll see what happens. Um, I want to start by showing you the latest update on my YouTube channel. I had 1,484 views on March 4th at 7:39 p.m. And I just took this, and this is what it is now. 5:22 p.m. is when I took this picture. Obviously, people aren't watching my videos because they won't download. Hello. The last video I was doing is about generational curses and how, it's difficult to get past things like that, especially when you've been raised and talked to and treated like less than your whole life. I was talking to my adopted big brother, we'll call him, and I was asking him if he remembered a situation when we were kids. Um, my brother, and another friend put a hit of acid in my drink. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know that they did it. So I obviously freaked out. I had to call my mom to come and get me. Uh, she came and got me. And as we were driving home, I was screaming faster, faster, faster because the telephone poles were melting into a ball behind the car and it was chasing the car. She finally got me home and she put me on my bed, which was a water bed, and I had sheets that looked like waves. I thought I was in the ocean and I thought I was drowning. So she called my big brother and told him to get his butt down there because it was obvious that something had happened. And he had to sit with me. She made him sit with me until I was okay, until I fell asleep, until I was better. Then, not very long after that, my adopted big brother and my brother and some friends of his got a puppy drunk. And this puppy was really, really in dire straits. Um, they brought it to my mom because they didn't know what to do with it. And my mom stayed the entire night with that puppy. She slept on the kitchen floor. She did not leave that puppy's side. I was less important to her than a drunk puppy. Not that a drunk puppy is something that you should walk away from, but do you see where I'm going with that? Always been treated less than, like I wasn't important. Um, I write poetry, and I wrote some poems and had them published in the International Poets book. That book is missing. I'm not sure where that book is. I have a picture of me in the Leadville Hospital when I was doing the registration. They took a picture of me with the book, and they made it a big deal. They put it in the newsletter, and it was really awesome, and it made me feel really special. And when I told my mom about it, her response was, "Oh, I could never do anything good enough." And it was obvious that I could never do anything good enough. And then, of course, being smacked in the head and told how stupid you are, and, you name it, I've heard it, as I've mentioned before. So, getting past those generational curses and, getting past those things are very, very, very difficult. I mean, that's like the self esteem, self worth, self respect, self everything, and it's been, my whole life. It's not just been my mom and my dad, I mean, it's been the people that I've been with. that have, shot my self-esteem down a little bit lower and a little bit lower and a little bit lower. And I take responsibility for that, because a lot of those relationships that I got into were relationships that were familiar, you know, um, familiar to me in the respect of, look how my mom and dad were, the way they talked to each other, the way they talked to us kids, um, the way women were treated, you know, um, yeah. So, I take responsibility for putting myself in those situations, but I don't take responsibility for what those people did to me, because that's their responsibility, not mine. At the end of that video, I mentioned that I'll soon be living in my car. But I have a plan, and is this going to be easy? No. No, I'm sure it's not, you know. But there are a lot of people who come here from a different country with less than what I have, and they find a way to make it. So I'm sure I'll find a way to make it. I am being blackballed as far as work is concerned. I worked very, very hard in the medical field for 17 years to make a name for myself. And my mother knows people well enough to make them say things that aren't true when people are called in respects to my history, my work history. So that's making it very difficult for me to find a job. I'll still find something. I don't care if I have to work at McDonald's. I don't care what I have to do. I am not above anything. And I would rather work than steal or harm for money. And I won't do just anything for money like they want people to think I will. I'm not above working a job that some people feel like is beneath them. I'm not above that. If that's what's going to dig me out of what I'm in, the situation that I'm in, that I didn't put myself in, by the way. But if that's going to get me out of this and put me in a place, then that's what I'm going to do. So be it, I will find a way. I will find a way. You can't stop me. You might think you can, and you might try. And you may succeed at doing some things to me that, I may put me in a position, but you won't ever stop me. The only way you're going to stop me is if you kill me, because I'm not going to stop. My purpose is too important and too big for you or anyone else to stop me. And if you haven't figured that out by now, I honestly don't know what to tell you. You just keep racking up your karma, because, I've been told that it's been hitting a lot of people really hard recently. Your karma is really kicking in. Somebody just lost a job. And I'm thinking that's somebody close to me that just lost a job. Here's something ironic. My sister, Jody, who's involved in this, called the Grand Junction Police Department to get a hold of me today to find out if I was okay. Yes, sister. I'm going to use that term loosely. I'm just fine. You can't beat me. You won't beat me. I am perfectly fine. Thank you very much. I'm happy. I have a plan. And I'm going to make it, regardless of you and everybody else, in spite of you all standing in front of me trying to knock me off. I'm still going to make it. So I'd like to talk about invasion of privacy, because my computer and my phone have been hacked. Um, I have reason to believe that my daughter is not getting messages from me, and I have reason to believe that I'm not getting messages from her. Um, I also have reason to believe that there is a part of her that is afraid to talk to me. And I don't know if that's fear of being threatened or fear of unknown, we'll call it. Because I'm sure this is pretty confusing. And, she's been told I have a brain tumor, and she's been told that I'm crazy, and I'm sure she's been told a lot of things, and she doesn't know what to believe. I'm not angry at you. I'm not. I'm hurt. I've been isolated from everybody I love, and the time in my life when I needed somebody the most, there's nobody there. God is there. I can't say nobody. God is there. Spirit's there. My ancestors are there. My spirit team is there. My archangels are there. Everybody's there in that regard, in my spirit world. And as much as I hate being isolated from everybody I love, I also know that isolation is what is bringing me closer to God, and is what is increasing my ascensions, and they're happening rapidly now. Everybody that tried to stop me, that you isolated me, you told people things that made people want to stay away from me. You told people lies, and you deceived people, and you did and said things that would make people think that I am something that I am not. And shame on you, and you will reap your karma if you haven't already for that. So you completely isolated me. But what you did is you forced me into my ascension. And that was God's plan. All of this is a part of God's plan. Even me living in my car is a part of God's plan, because I'm sure that's the one thing that I've not been is homeless. And I'm sure that that's something that he's going to want me to help people when it comes to being homeless. I can counsel people on just about anything. I've never been homeless. I'm about to be, so now I'll be able to counsel people on homeless too, on being homeless, and how to pull yourself out of it if you really want to. So there isn't anything that you're going to be able to do that is going to take me down spiritually. That's going to make me, was I depressed and sad and cry and feeling like nothing was ever going to work? Yeah, for a minute. When you're dealing with all of those generational curses, and then you have people doing all of this other crap to you. Well, yeah, you think I'm not going to cry? You think it's not going to upset me? You think I'm not going to worry about how, what, when, where, why, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Blah, 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 blah. But as soon as I sit down and I think about it and I get clarity, I'm back on my feet. And when I get back up, I'm stronger than I was when I sat down. Every time you make me sit down, I get back up. Stronger. More aware. And more awake. I'm going to say it again. You can't stop me. I hear a lot of people, especially women, who say this saying of, sometimes it's just best to let things go. Sometimes it's just best not to say anything. Sometimes it's just best to let it rest. And, there are certain situations, that you should let things rest. But when you're fighting for what you believe in, when you're fighting for your life, when you're fighting for what's right, don't ever shut up. Don't ever let them take your voice away from you. Your voice should get louder. and I will not be silenced. The only way I will be silenced is if you kill me. And that's a fact. And it's not like they haven't tried. There have been 3 hitmen now. 3. And maybe a 4th on the way. Huh. And what are they called? Sharpshooter. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I'll think of it in a minute. All right. So these are some job titles of people who are involved with this, either here in Junction or also in Tennessee. Pet groomers, teachers, personal assistants, a beekeeper, crop cultivator, photography, interior design. Of course, we know about the lawmen, the judges, the lawyers, concrete company. I think that's it. Well, I mean, that's not it, but that's what I got right now. They're doing sleeping spells on me to try to have me sleep. And then they're also trying to stop me from dreaming because I get a lot of my information when I'm dreaming. But like I've mentioned before, God has different ways of giving me messages. So you keep trying to block me, but God keeps giving it to me anyways. I've had another ascension since this last one. So, And I'm supposed to mention to the officials, high up officials, that there is something about Yellowstone Park that's happening. Yes, there is. There have been on my Facebook, I've seen a lot of reels lately that have talked about selling your soul for the Hollywood experience. Men. This goes right along with this Masonic organization / coven in Tennessee. They videotape you sleeping with the men sleeping with other men. They videotape you and then they use that over your head to keep you in control. So basically you're selling your soul because at that point you have to do whatever they want you to do, because if you don't, then they hold this video that they took of you having sex with this man over your head. So you've sold yourself. You guys. Hey! So basically, thank you, Lola. I appreciate it. She's yelling at the cats for me. Yeah, but music industry the same way. There was a video that was about the singer Weekend at one of his shows where it flashed Satan across the bottom of the screen at one of his live shows. I posted that on my Facebook. If you're interested, go and take a look at it. They actually freeze it for you so you can see it. But it was flashed so fast. They're doing so many things to you subliminally, to us subliminally, that it's they're deadening our senses. So when all of this stuff keeps coming at us and keeps coming at us and keeps coming at us, we're already being numbed and dumbed to it, that when it finally does happen, we're not surprised and we're not appalled the way that we should be, because subliminally they're telling us that this is going to happen. Subliminally, they're giving us this information, telling us, this train is going to derail with that movie. That movie came out right before that derailment in Ohio, almost verbatim the movie. They're telling us everything that they're going to do to us to numb us down, to dumb us down, so that when it does happen, it's like, oh, well, that's a bummer. Instead of being appalled the way that we should be appalled, there are no birds, there are no fish, there are no salamanders, there's nothing living where that train wreck happened. And although we're hearing about stuff on the news, it is not being treated like the issue that it really is. It's serious. People are going to get sick and die and cause cancer and probably some type of birth defects. This is getting into people's DNA. This is the kind of stuff that, like, this is going to screw with people's bloodline, but it's like it's minimized. It's minimized. And it's already been shown to us, in these movies and things that, oh well, oh, that's a bummer. Oh, we should be really appalled, and we should be angry, and we should be holding people more responsible for the things that are happening. Yeah, we should. I don't. I wish I could snap my fingers and have everybody, just see the way that I see things now in comparison to the way that I saw things just days ago. And the way that I saw them then from the way that I saw them days before that. I mean, it's just continuously changing, and the things that I'm seeing and how I'm seeing them now. I mean, I'm nowhere near my full ascension, obviously, but I'm a lot more awake than I've ever been, and I'm completely appalled by the state of the situations that we are in, that our world is in, and the things that people are doing to our environment for the sake of money, for the sake of controlling our minds so that we're numb and dumb and they can do whatever they want to, and we're just going to sit back and let them do it. We need to use our voices, and we need to stand together to do it, because we the people are the United States. We the people have the power. They are trying to make us think that we don't, but we do. We have the power, and we need to take it back. But we need everybody to wake the hell up so we can do this together. Put all this prejudice crap behind us. Put all of this stuff behind us with, the police raids, the things that are happening right now. They're keeping us so sidetracked with all of this other stuff that we're not seeing what's really happening, what's really important. I mean, yes, okay, so yeah, there are riots and there were police officers and, all of this stuff is happening, and this is big and it's bad. But it isn't anything in comparison to what's happening on this level over here. This stuff is just all a way to keep us looking in a different direction while they do whatever they're trying to do up here, because we're not paying attention. We're not paying attention to what's happening up here because we're too busy paying attention to what's happening over here. The prejudice, the rioting. Those people in Georgia, did you hear that most of those people weren't even from Georgia? There was one that wasn't even a United States citizen. So what the hell was that all about? They don't want that site to be a police site where they do their training, because it's going to militarize our police. Well, you know what? At this point, maybe we need to, because things are getting so damn out of control. Now, I know there are bad cops out there, but y'all, there are a lot more good cops than there are bad cops, and we need to stop lumping all cops into the same situation. I'm dealing with some dirty cops myself, but I don't think every cop out there is a bad cop. I know that there are good men and good women out there that want what's right for us, for me, for you, for our rights, for themselves. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, cops suck, because I have cops that are involved in this and are dirty and are trying to take me down. You can't lump everybody into one. You just can't. That's small-minded. And we need to get out of that small-minded way of thinking. Does everybody with purple hair, have a bad attitude? No. Does everybody that's white, is everybody that's white a serial killer? No. Do you see what I'm saying? We need to treat people as an individual and not lump everybody in as one. Everybody is an individual. You can only control what you can control. And what we need to do is we need to start making people accountable, individually accountable for what they do. The slap on the hands and the, okay, well, this cop, brutalized 5 people before he actually killed somebody. Well, maybe after the second or third time, they should have done something with this person instead of letting it get to the point of killing somebody. You see what I'm saying? Instead of, turning a blind eye to things like that, maybe that's a solution, Oh, first time, everybody makes a mistake. You do it one time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. A third time, that's it. Everybody deserves a second chance, because not everybody is always going to get it right the first time. But third chances and fourth chances and fifth chances and sixth chances and seventh chances, especially when we're talking about people who walk around with a weapon who think that they are above the law, then that's a problem. We need to fix that. We need to stop overlooking the things that are being overlooked, deal with them as they come, and deter it. Make an example out of somebody in a situation like that and deter it. I don't know. I could sit here and think of ways to fix the world all day long. But what good is it going to do me if nobody's willing to do anything to help? What good is it going to do me if everybody's asleep behind the wheel, letting the government drive your damn car? Letting this organization determine your life instead of you. Instead of taking the bull by the horns, which is something I was told I needed to do. I always thought I was, but there are those moments, those generational curses. Oh man, that's a bitch. Oh man. But we can pull ourselves up and we can pull ourselves out and we can make it work. We have to. We can't give up on ourselves. We cannot give up on ourselves. All right. I'm going to go because I'm about out of time. I hope that other video is finally going to go through. I hope this one goes through. Who knows? We'll see. All right, y'all. Please love each other. Please, please, please love each other. Love yourselves, because that's really super important. And I love you. We'll catch you later. Have a great night, y'all.